morning, visitors in EDM 310 class. I'm going to teach y'all how to do and use the smartboard as my project 14. The first thing, of course, you need to know how to do is power on, and that can be found right down here in the right bottom corner of your smartboard. It glows green and it just has a little icon, so you can just push it, and of course the screen will appear. As you can see, it is already on. Now, the next thing that you're going to do after you turn it on is you're going to calibrate it, which is just basically get it in sync, and you're going to press these two buttons together underneath the eraser. And as you can see, the directions are in the center of the screen. You just press center of target and release. So you're just going to tap. You can use your finger. Also, you can switch and use the pen if you want to. Just tap the center. I'm just going to finish using my finger here. Okay, and now your smartboard is completely in sync with what you are doing. Now, another thing that we're going to learn how to do is to use the notebook software, which the icon can be found right here. You're going to double tap. Of course, it'll load and pop up. And this is things that we do not need right now as far as software, so we're just going to exit out of that. Okay, and the first feature you can use with the notebook is, of course, the keypad, which is the little left-hand button right underneath your eraser, and it pops up on your screen. We're going to start off with a simple word. Say hello, and you can see it is typing up in the left-hand corner of your screen. Just going to exit out of that when you are finished. So to get rid of all these little lines, you're just going to tap out. And then click it again, and now it's going to have a blue box around it. And I'm going to bring it to the center. As you can see, when you've selected it, you can slide it wherever you want across the screen. This little circle that's filled in with white at the bottom is for you to enlarge and make it smaller according to whatever size you want it. So we're just going to leave it right there. And we're just going to bring this back up to the top because we're finished using that. And tap out of it whenever you're done so the smartboard recognizes that you're finished. Now, we're going to use the pen. And as you can see, it's lit up. The little light right across the little bar on the bottom to let you know that it is in use. And the smartboard recognizes it. We're just going to start off with hello again. And then make sure when you're finished done writing, just put it back where it starts. And that way the little arrow points up to know that it's recognized that you're done. Okay, and as you can see, my word's not perfect. It has squiggly lines at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap it. And we're going to go down to the little arrow. And we're going to ask the smartboard to recognize it. This also comes in really good use for whenever you do not have good handwriting. And of course now it's written text in English, just like the one above. And you can also enlarge and make smaller and move around the notebook page as you want. So we're just going to make that smaller, and we're going to bring it up to the top with our next word. And we're going to tap out to let the smartboard know that we are finished. Now, another icon that we are going to select while using Notebook is Shapes, which can be found down here on the toolbar. Just click once. I'm going to use a square, so just tap that once. And then you're just going to tap the notebook page, and you're just going to drag diagonally down and release. And when you're done, make sure you click the icon again to let it go away, and click the arrow key so it doesn't make sure that there's no confusion. Alright, so to select the square, you're going to tap the corner, and that way with the blue box around it, you're able to move it wherever you want. You can enlarge and you can make it smaller just in case if you decide it's not the right size that you want. And what we are going to do with this now is we are going to fill it in, which you come up here to the right side of your notebook and click the sidebar with the square with the circle and colors in it. And make sure you're under fill effects. And we're just going to choose a color. Choose blue because it's my favorite. And then we're just going to tap out. And now you can see that the square is blue. And we're going to tap it. Tap the corners to select it. And another really cool feature as soon as you're finished with filling it in is cloning. So what you want to do is go down here to Infinite Cloner and click once. So that way you are able to make as many as you want, which is great for, of course, when you're teaching your kids as far as math and any other subject, because you can do really cool things with it, such as hide answers and reveal them, which I will show you in just a second. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to click out to let you know that it's finished. And we're going to pick up our pen, and we're going to write a math problem. So I'm just going to start right here. 2 plus 1, and of course that equals 3. And then you're going to put down a pen to let the smartboard know that you're finished. And what you can do is you can take this and put it right over the answer. And as you can already tell, the square has already been brought forward in front of your answer. But just in case that feature isn't already set, what you do is you go to the arrow and you go down to order and just click it, and then it'll pop up. And it has bring to front, send to back, bring forward, or send backward. And since it's already brought to the front, of course you can't select it, but that's just how you would do it, just in case if it wasn't like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're actually going to select the square again, and we're going to come back over here to the side icon, and we're going to go to Object, Animation, and you're going to go down to Type, and we want it to fade out. And the speed, we're going to do slow, so that way it gives your students a chance to answer the question correctly, or answer the problem, I should say, since it's math. And we're going to have it happen when the object is click, and we're only going to repeat it once. Okay, so you can ask your class, what is 2 plus 1? And of course, if they answer 3, or if you choose a student and the answer is correct, you can tap and it will fade away to 3. Also, another thing if you want to do, you can have your student come up and select the one that they answered, so that way it's more involved with them. Alright, and so since we're finished, we're just going to click out, everything's done, and we're going to exit out of this, and we are not going to save our changes. Okay, and the next thing that we're going to learn how to do is how to save an image if you are writing on the back screen. I'm just going to write hey, and now that I'm finished, I did put the pen down again to show that I am finished with what I'm doing. Now to save it, we're going to click it, and we're going to click Save Ink, and the smartboard takes a picture of it and it sends it into Notebook, which will appear down here on your bottom bar. We're going to click it, and as you can see, our picture appears with our word and the background screen. So now we're going to ungroup it to separate the word from the picture. So we're going to click the picture and make sure that we can see the outlining bar. And we're going to click this, the down arrow, and we're going to go to grouping, and we're going to ungroup. Okay, and now what we are going to do is we're going to kind of just move this back up, and then we're going to click and type the arrow down here. So as you can see, it's not selected anymore. And now, since it's not selected, we're only able to move the background. And as you can see, it might be a little bit hard since it's blue, but the word is staying where it is. So now we're just going to do that, and we're going to select it, and we're going to go to the arrow because we want to get rid of it and only see the word. And we're going to delete. And that leaves you with our word, which, since, notice that if you tap it, it's individual letters. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drag our finger across the whole word and leave it just like that. We're going to click the arrow, and we're going to go to grouping again. And instead of ungroup, we're going to group it together. So you click the first one, group, and it makes the word one. So of course, just like before, if your handwriting's messing or if you just want to bring it to a regular text, you can ask the smartboard to recognize it, and it's recognizing it as hey. And you can do the same features, which is bring it smaller and larger by the little white circle at the bottom, or you can move it wherever you want in your screen. And that is how you do that. And the last thing that we're going to learn how to do on the notebook is animation. And we're going to come over here. Okay, make sure you click the little picture icon. And we're going to go down here to Gallery Essentials, and we're going to click Interactive and Multimedia. And all these options pop up, and we're just going to choose the acoustic guitar, and it pops up in your screen. And right down here is the little sound icon. You click, and it plays for you. And that includes my presentation for the smartboard.